Okay, we're going to clean up our valves here. So even though these are brand new valves that have already been ground, I never trust anybody's work, so I'm going to go ahead and hone the stems here with my external hone. And that will give us a nice smooth true surface here. So if there's any imperfections, little waviness, burrs, chatter marks, whatever in the stem, it'll clean them up real quick. So give us a nice straight valve. And then when I chuck it in the valve grinder to hold the valve, it'll make that nice and true. And I'll regrind the tip right here to make sure it's where I want it to be. And I'll back cut it how I like to back cut them. These ones here are pretty good. They got a large taper in them, so there's not a lot of back cutting to be done. But I always like to narrow it up a little bit. And this is our intake. It's the same thing, so we'll just duplicate it on all the valves. So let's go ahead and do that. We got one valve in here already. It's an intake. So we'll go ahead and do that. So pull this back a little bit so you can see better, maybe. Not sure how much you're going to see here because I'm not watching the camera when I'm working. So basically just put a lubricant on here. This is honing oil, or honing. And this just pinches down on the stem manually with pressure that I control right here with my thumb. So it'll control what we're doing. Good. Takes. So we're not trying to remake the valve, we're just trying to take off the high spots. So now this valve is all cleaned up. It's a little bit smoother than it was. If there's any high spots, you'd see little shiny spots in here, and they would stick up. So this is the same valve that has not been done, so it's hard to tell, but it's a little bit smoother here now than what this one is. It's like a paint job where you use 1,000 grit and 2,000 grit. It's not a major difference, but it does make a difference. But we're not doing it just for the smoothness, we're doing it for making it straight. Make sure there's no burrs on it. So let's go ahead and do all 4 of them here. All their valves, they usually get 2 or 3 passes, but these valves are pretty good, so I'm going to give them one shot. Whenever you're using rags on a lathe or any spins, you got to make sure you don't wrap your fingers in the rag. If the rag gets caught in this chuck, it'll rip it right out of your hand and take your finger off with it. Or at least break it. If it gets caught in my hand here, it just pulls right out. I'm not super safe around here, but I do pay attention. It does hurt if you hurt yourself. Alright, so that's how these look. So now I'll go ahead and go over the valve grinder. We'll cut these face surfaces. Okay, we're going to grind these valves now. So the first thing we do is we butt the end of the valve off, which means we face off the tip right here, where you can see it. Make sure it's nice and true. So once again, it's been cut by them, but it's amazing how many times they're out of whack when you get them. So I'm going to go ahead and do here on the valve grinder. Let me blow this up so you can see a little better. And we'll cut them. Grind it off here. Turn the focus, which you want to do. So you make sure that it's a nice, smooth, even grind across the whole face, and no, not sideways and flat all the way across. And done. So this here's the one I did. This is the stock one. It's not all about how smooth it is. Just make sure it's straight. You can hear it's pretty even. That's what you want to hear. A lot of things you do by hear and feel. So here's this one. This gives a little bit of a spot right here where it did not clean. Go ahead and reheat it again. Now you can see it's straight all the way across. That's what you want to see. So, do the intake valves now. And blow this back up. Good. Everything matters when you do this stuff, even how you chuck it up makes a difference. You notice I twist it around in a circle to make sure there's no burrs or crap underneath the valve when you put it in there. Alright, so this one here is all done now. I always go the wrong direction on this. So this is what the intakes look like. So now we go ahead and we're going to grind the other face. We do that on the other side over here on this side. So I'll swap the camera around, we'll look at that.